And it worked, I guess.
Yeah, so far. What's up? It's Team NBL. I'm Music by Lucas.
And Lauren C. Ray, DJ video creator, DJ producer.
And today we're going to be talking about how to create your own sound and style.
So why is it important to create your own sound or style?
So creating your own sound and style is, of course, how you're going to stick out from the crowd, and it's also how you're going to be remembered. Because if you think about any big artist, any iconic music artist, over time, you're gonna remember their sound or style. It's something about them that makes them unique.
And that's what branding is. We talk about branding all the time on this channel, and you're like, what is that? Branding, marketing, what are you talking about? Branding is making yourself into a brand, because a brand is very iconic, it's very remembered, and with all these other people like wanting to become a producer or a DJ, it's really hard to be remembered, and that's why it's good to create your own sound or your own style.
Creating your own sound and style is exactly like what Don Diablo did with Hexagon. He took a sound of like deep house, and he took like spacey sounds and like clubby kind of like dance floor grooves, disco sounds, and he mixed it all together to create this really cool sound that everyone knew as iconic. And he surrounded himself with a bunch of like-minded artists and created the whole Hexagon brand. So that's exactly what we want to talk to you guys about.
So we're gonna break it down for you and talk about how you can create your own sound, style, and also brand too.
The first way to create your own style/sound is it can occur naturally. So what happens is, throughout your career or throughout, your love of music, you're influenced by different people. Like you get really into different artists. Like maybe you were really into Martin Garrix, and then you were really into Don Diablo. So you're influenced by these artists, whether you know it or not. So your music style is going to be influenced.
Yeah, it's like with me with filming and editing. Like I used to watch a lot of Casey Neistat at the beginning, and so all my vlogs were kind of very like Casey Neistat style. But I kind of evolved out of that and said, well, I don't really like what he does there, and I don't really like what I did here, and I kind of like evolved my own style of vlogging. But I watch so much YouTube, it just is gonna naturally, I'm gonna naturally copy, other people's styles. I think it's the same with music that way as well. So
yeah, so as you get different influences, you still hold on to previous parts from the past influences. So like Lauren's saying, she switched up the style, but maybe she'll still hold on to little techniques that she knew. So you start to kind of mesh different styles naturally as you expand, like, musically, and then that's when you start to create that style that's your own.
The second way it can occur is that it's kind of told to you. Like you start sending out your tracks and people are like, oh, that's so your sound. And you're like, wait, what is my sound though? And then they kind of tell you and you're like, oh, okay. Or you get signed to a label and then you remember that track was signed.
Yeah.
And so you rinse and repeat that kind of sound again, because obviously if you got signed, it'll probably get signed again, so then you create your own sound kind of that way. Like you didn't even realize you had your own sound, it was kind of told to you. Like for example, when Lucas did Dreamin', right? You created more tracks after that and they were like, oh, that's so you, and he was kind of like, oh, what's me?
Yeah,
and then
they were explaining like, oh, it sounds kind of like Future House, but it also sounds kind of trance. And people kept saying that.
You're like, okay.
Yeah, it was so weird because people kept saying that without knowing that someone else said it. So I kept hearing future and trance, future and trance. And
well,
it was
you
like,
also really liked Armin van Buuren.
Yeah.
Like you used to listen to his tracks all the time, way back in the day. So
and
maybe,
deadmau5 too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So maybe some of that just, you were like, oh, I always liked this sound, but maybe it was because you liked their songs before, and so.
I think it's just like the first point too, because then I got really in, so I started being into Armin and deadmau5 and stuff like that, and then I got really into like, as you guys know, like my favorite DJ, Don Diablo, Hexagon, and Madison Mars, all like when Hexagon was really starting to come out. And so I think that's kind of how it happened, was I started allowing those influences to mesh together.
And it worked, I guess.
Yeah, so far. Lastly, you can kind of like do it calculated or kind of like force it. I think it's better sometimes to do it naturally, but it's also cool to see if you can take two different iconic styles or two different things that you think would go together and try to bring them together.
Maybe if you don't know they go together, but if you just really like two different influences or two different like producers or DJs or whatever, you can actually take their two styles, because you naturally maybe already have their two styles within you, and then you mesh them together to try to make your own sound.
Like if you really like two different styles and you're like, I don't know which one to produce, maybe try mixing them together.
And the saw is back again. He is sawing cinder blocks outside the window. If you watched last week's video, same dude. Also, to use a non-music example, they say that if there's two popular things going on, like two trends on YouTube at the same time, if you mesh them together, you can get like a viral video like that because everybody's searching. So at one point, like selfie sticks were really popular and then drones were really popular. So we have a friend who actually made a selfie taking drone, filmed it and put it on YouTube, and he went viral and like he just grew so fast on YouTube from doing that. And I think that similar concept could work with everything else, music
because
included.
it's like using more than one keyword when people search, so you can grab the two trends together. So if you can think of two,
Future House is really popular right now, and I guess trance is coming back.
Trance is gonna,
Did it ever leave?
I
don't really know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, but so that's kind of.
I think the coolest part about future trance is it mixes together two types of audiences, because I feel like the future house is more of a newer audience, but the trance is like really established, and so you get like two totally different types of people hanging out in the same place.
A bunch of people are gonna comment, no, I like trance and I'm a new person. So those are just three like sort of ways that it can happen that you can create your own sound or style. I hope one of them resonates with you, or you're already on the track of doing one of the ones we've mentioned. But if you have any more, make sure to comment below, because like we always say, it's community and it's great to hear from all different point of views of like different people's tips and tricks. I think is really great.
Yeah, and don't forget, we have our Discord after party. So every week, right after this YouTube video premieres, you can hop onto our Discord channel. Links in the description.
Who's doing it?
We have Jordan J from Hexagon.
Jordan J, guys, today.
He's epic. He's going to be hosting. He's going to be in the chat. So go hang out on the Discord channel.
And you know, if you were there last week, how awesome these things are. Or if you were there the week before.
We've already had Todd Helder, Retrovision. We've had some big artists.
It's just so much fun to chat with you guys after the premiere. It like really feels like an after party. Like we're all chatting, we're all talking. I'm there. You know that's a rarity, guys. So if you want to
hit
chat
up Lauren
with
in the chat. If you like what you're seeing, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And we'll see you next week.
All right, guys.